Oh, what a rush. A gold rush, that is. A gold rush taking over College Park in Terpsville as the Maryland Terps have their 2025 home opener against a familiar foe right down the road in Georgetown as the Hoyas come into College Park looking to spoil Maryland's potential to have a 2-0 start. These teams haven't played in a while. I got all your details. We're going to take a look back at the copy game. This is your home for Maryland Terps coverage, football, basketball, everything in between. Stomp that subscribe button. Go ahead and back down that bell, or go ahead and lay up that thumbs up, lay up that like button, and comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on the copy game, how you feel about them playing Georgetown again, predictions for this game and the rest of the season. Check out my season preview where I talked about the copy game and gave an overall synopsis of the team, men and women. Yours truly, God's favorite host. Let's rock and roll and get into it. Let's quickly go back to Monday, as it was a victorious Monday as the Terps did get a big time win, 83-61 over the Coppin State Eagles in Baltimore at CFG Bank Arena. Now, if I have one complaint, it wasn't a lot of people there. The promotion, the marketing, the familiarity with this team. A lot of people are familiar with the players on this team, the overall expectations and interests. So, with winning, with more exposure, with more recognition, and like I said, with better promotion and marketing, these things will get better. Now, they can't just play here once every 3 or 4 years. As I said, this needs to be a yearly thing. We need to see Maryland and Baltimore playing at the arena against other local teams on a regular basis. Build the interest, build the intrigue, set the expectation, and deliver the greatness of Maryland basketball in Baltimore yearly at the CFG Bank Arena so people can expect to see good local matchups. But Maryland didn't cover. They did win 83-61. My boy Pharrell Payne, 21 points. Darius Adams, 16 points. Maryland ties a opening game record with 10 threes. Shout out to Khalil Horton of Coppin. Coppin kept it close and late. He had 19 was shooting very percent from three. If they can do that this season, that would be a great barometer because as the intensity and the competition intensifies and increases, as you're going to see on Friday against Georgetown, having the ability to make shots from the perimeter, which is going to be the key for this team offensively. I think they're going to play good defense. They're going to have a lot of energy. They're going to bring a lot of information from Buzz Williams. They're going to bring a lot of effort from what he instills in his team. He's going to bring that identity. They're going to press, as you saw. They're going to force turnovers. They're going to play 40 minutes of hell, dare I say. They are going to be what we need them to be under Buzz Williams. 34 rebounds to 29. 12 turnovers isn't terrible. I would have liked to see them stay in single digits, but it is the first game of the season. And I think them having Darius Adams, having the point guard position as well, that will improve as the season goes on. Now, like I said, Pharrell Payne, he's going to be the guy in the middle, the man in the middle. 21 points. He did a really good job. Darius Adams, as we get more familiar with these teams, these are going to be the two guys I think that are going to pull most of the weight. Now, like I said, Maryland, if they can continue to shoot over 30% from three, because teams are going to pack the paint, dare them to shoot from the outside, that is going to be very, very important. So, big win on Monday did the Terps have over Coppin to get the season going. Now, they do get ready for Georgetown. They are favored in this game. You can get tickets for as low as dollars as well. Now, Maryland is, as I saying, having their home opener, and it'll be great to see down in College Park. We got a lot of things happening, as you can see, which I'll get into in a second. But a storied DMV rivalry returns as Maryland hosts Georgetown on Friday night at the XFINITY Center. A 4-game series between the two programs. The first time they've met since November 15th, 2016, where they played at the Verizon Center in D.C. as part of the Gavitt Games. The game will tip off at 6 p.m. and be on Fox Sports 1 and can be listened to on the Maryland Sports Radio Network. And the Terps, 83-61 over Coppin on Monday, part of the Hall of Fame series as well, which we also saw Towson beat Loyola. I would have liked to see Maryland and Towson. Towson supposed to win the Colonial. Shout out to Pat Scarry. Let's see what they do. Terps are coming off a big win. 5 plays in double figures. Pharrell Payne leads the way with 21 points, 10 threes, ties a Maryland record for most in the season opener. And they have a 48-game win streak due to the Terps in home openers, third best in the nation, and a 23-game win streak at home against unranked non-conference opponents. And you can see the Gold Rush Gold Mine. We got a golden ticket raffle. Receive a golden ticket upon entry for the chance to win a Gold Rush jersey Send one my way if you could, size large. Upgraded seats, opportunity to win 10K, which I'll take. You guys want to donate to what we do here, you can super chat us. They are always open. And post-game free throws. You do also have future Terps Gold Zone for the kids, the family. You're coming out with your friends. Stop by Gate F to check out the Future Terps Gold Zone featuring a striped gold photo booth, face painters, and Gold Rush crafts. We also have golden hour deals. We know you're going to get hungry. It's going to be dinner time. Special concession deals available from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. Hoffman's hot dog, small popcorn, and a souvenir Pepsi for $8. I love what Jim Smith is doing. He's doing a good job with the marketing, promotion, and offering incentives to be there in the building. And we also have a Hoffman's hot dog, a small popcorn, Testudo premium lager for $12. And also, don't forget that we also have the Gold Rush T-shirt giveaway to the first 1,000 fans at the game. I don't know why they don't just make it for every fan, but the exclusive pregame fan experiences are available until 5:30 p.m. This is the 107th edition of Maryland basketball. Brand new team after the Sweet 16 season last year as well. We just talked about that. Now, also, we know it's the Buzz Williams era, and it's great to see. This is the first meeting in nearly a decade, as it's a rekindling of dormant fan favorite franchises, as it's had a dramatic, epic rivalry. Maryland leads the all-time series 38-27 and have won 3 of the last 4 since the 2000s. The series itself began in 1911 and was played nearly every year until 1980. Some of the greatest games, including 2 Hall of Fame coaches, Lefty Driesell and John Thompson, rest in peace to both of them. And that was in 1993. We had a classic at the U.S. Air Arena when Joe Smith scored 26. Dwayne Simpkins hit the game winner in overtime. This season saw Maryland jump into the AP Top 25 and have a berth to the Sweet 16 in the first of 11 trips to the NCAA tournament. I always say it. Maryland is a basketball school. We know the football team has some talent. They have a long way to go. They have things they need to work on. But when you look at the basketball history, the national title, some runs to the Sweet 16, Elite Eight, opportunities that maybe they should have ended up in the Final Four, Maryland is indeed a basketball school. The promotions are going to be early and often for Maryland basketball, like we've seen with football. The home opening game against Georgetown tomorrow is 6 p.m. Fan favorite Gold Rush T-shirts and exclusive giveaways. Other notable games include the red out against Michigan on December 13th, a pink out against Purdue on February 1st, a blackout against Ohio State February 5th, and a checker flag game against Illinois March 8th, 2 days that is, after God's favorite host's birthday, by the way. So go ahead and get those birthday wishes in if you like. But getting Purdue, number 1 team in the country right now, Ohio State with the blackout, checker flag game against Illinois, the red out against Michigan. That should be some fun stuff there as well. As mentioned, looking back at the game here, you see Georgetown has some talent. Georgetown definitely has some talent this year. They are led by head coach Ed Cooley, who left Providence for Georgetown ahead of the 2020 season. Now, the Hoyas have had a program, but mediocrity over the past decade. They posted a above 500 record last season for the first time since 2018, 2019. They had a miraculous Big Ten or Big East, tournament championship in 2021. And it entered the tournament with 9 wins, and they won the tournament. And it's got them to their most recent tournament appearance, which led to a Colorado in the first round. This year, the Hoyas were turning heads early. They beat Kentucky at Rupp Arena. I mentioned it when I was previewing Coppin a little bit of this game, 84-70 at Rupp Arena. And they beat Morgan State in their home opener, 87-70. And good to see those local matchups yet again. Georgetown, Morgan. Great to see it. Love it. Right down the road. Now, they will look to sustain their momentum and look to break their 10-year NCAA tournament winless streak. You see KJ Lewis right there. That brother, you got to stop him. 14 points a game. You see it. He's a junior, 6'4", number 5. Shoot first guard, work the arc, so he's a below the rim type of guy. And he led the team with 14 points, 4 of 7 shooting, including making all 6 free throws with 5 rebounds. He's going to have to be the guy Maryland stops. And he'll probably be matched up a lot with some of the guys we're getting familiar with on the perimeter. So we'll see how they do combating him. He is an Arizona transfer, and he brings a defensive presence too. A former Pac-Man honorable mention, 38 and 49 steals. through his first two seasons, and he started the season with 3 steals against Morgan State. Malik Mack is a junior guard, 6'2", number 2. He's the partner of Lewis, the only returner from Georgetown that averaged over 10 points last season. He's an Oxon Hill, Maryland native, averaged 4.3 assists per game. He's a distributor. He's a playmaker. And he is the person they look to at the point guard position. So this backcourt of Georgetown are going to have to contain as well. We got Julius Halafanua, the sophomore center, 7 foot. He replaces Thomas Sorbo, who's a Big Ten freshman of the year and went to the NBA and got drafted in the first round as well. And he is from New Zealand. He had 3 points, 8 rebounds against Morgan State as well. He dropped 30 pounds and missed all but 6 games of his freshman season due to injury. It'll be interesting to see how he matches up inside with Payne, but this team is known for their defense. They grind it out. They have rock fights, as they say. They held Kentucky to 33% shooting from the field, 7 of 30 from beyond the arc. And their weakness, though, they can't shoot like Maryland. But I think Maryland may be a little bit better. Now, like we said, they were 4 of 26 against Morgan with no player making more than multiple three-pointers. So you could see some zone from Maryland. You could depress, but definitely the zone when they get into the half court as well. So that's going to be interesting as well. We do have Deshaun Harris-Smith, former Terp, returning. I forgot he went to Georgetown, four-star former recruit, averaging just 2.5 points, 2.4 assists in 15 minutes last season. He's the first Willett-era player to return to College Park. Now, the three-point barrage will continue. Maryland tied its most three-pointers in an opening game with 10, and it was very impressive. Now, the Crab 5 averages, they averaged 2 more than the Crab 5 average per game last year, which is unexpected. They only averaged 8 per game. So that's going to be interesting. Now, 10 of 29, several of which were out of rotation. They're going to need better shot selection. But when they go down, you can't complain too much as well. As mentioned, the Maryland-Georgetown rivalry, 65 matchups. Maryland holds a 38-27 lead, but they haven't met since 2016. The game is the first of a 4-game series, but the pair aren't just competing on the court. 5-star center Baba Olatun, hopefully he comes to Maryland because it's down to the Terps and Hoyas in his Final Four. Could you imagine having maybe Baba Olatun next year with Eddie House's son, and then maybe having Payne and Adams and Passmore and some of those other guys back next year? I think 2027 Maryland, not to get ahead of ourselves and put the cart before the horse, they could really be cooking up something could buzz. And like I said, this year, if they make it to the tournament, is indeed a win-win for this program. And I the first to give him his flowers, which he deserves. Now, the keys to the game, it's going to be simple. The backcourt of the Georgetown Hoyas is going to be the key defensively. Now, I think for one key, start fast, get the crowd into the crowd's going to be hyped. So give the crowd a reason to continue to stay energized and feed off that energy and have a fast start. So start fast, aka feed off the crowd. The crowd will feed off of you. They're going to be feeding on $8 and $12 food, merchandising opportunities, free t-shirts, opportunities to win monetary gifts, and opportunities for future games. So feed off the crowd. The crowd will feed off of you. It's a Friday night. Now, the timing, 6 o'clock. It is a national TV game on Fox Sports 1. Now, traffic in the area, in the DMV, in the Park area isn't the best around that time. A 7 o'clock start may work a little better. So they need to start fast because the crowd may not fully be there. It'll be better than it was in Baltimore on Monday, but people may still be filing in for the first 5 to 10 minutes of the game. Then when we get close to halftime, you'll probably see a full arena because I think it will be a sellout, if not close to it, as always, with the first home game Friday night. Georgetown will bring a lot of people here. So start fast, feed off the crowd. The crowd will feed off of you. You may even have to pull the crowd through until the rest of the people get there, but start fast. Next, contain the backcourt of the Hoyas. We talked about KJ Lewis and we talked about Malik Mack. Contain those two brothers. Don't let Malik Mack get into the paint and distribute, have 5, 6, 7 assists. Don't let KJ Lewis be the guy getting 15, 20, getting guys in foul trouble. Contain the backcourt of the Hoyas. Next, win the rebounding battle, which I think they should. They have more size, I think, does Maryland. Win the rebounding battle and make shots from the perimeter consistently. Good shots, but make good shots from the perimeter. You don't have to take a 3 just because it's open. You can dribble the ball inside. You can swing the ball in extra rotation. So start fast, win the rebounding battle, contain the backcourt of the Hoyas, and limit your turnovers. Let's get single-digit turnovers, and let's force them into double-digit turnovers and force them to beat you from beyond the arc. Force them to beat you from beyond the arc. That is going to be the key for this team, what they can do with them defensively beyond the arc. They have to make Georgetown beat them from the perimeter. Like they're going to try to make Maryland beat them from the perimeter, but I do think Maryland has a chance to do that if it comes down to it. But start fast, win the rebounding battle, single-digit turnovers, force them into double-digit turnovers, shoot over 30% from beyond the arc, force them under 30% beyond the arc, and stay out of foul trouble and get them into foul trouble as well. And then I think also, like I said, pull away in the second half like you did against Coppin. You grinded it out. You use your talent to overcome some of the issues you may have while you're getting familiar and getting more chemistry. The rotations that you have, it's going to be interesting to see what Maryland can do. But keep it simple. You know, they are a favorite to win. Maryland should win, but I think Georgetown has a solid team, maybe better than people are giving them credit for, especially on the defensive end. But you got to start fast, win the rebounding battle, single-digit turnovers, force double-digit turnovers, and as always, shoot over 30% from three, force them to under 30% from three, and get them in foul trouble as well, and contain the backcourt of Georgetown as well. Those are some keys and things that I'm looking at. I think Maryland wins. Maryland only scored 80 points on Monday, 81. I think Georgetown, what did they only score? What, 70? They scored, what did they score against Morgan? They scored, they scored only, trying to see. They beat them and they scored, I just saw it, they scored 70 points. Did they score 70? I think they scored 70. Yeah, they beat them. Oh, they beat 87 to 70. So first team to 90 wins. First team to get to 90 wins. Now, I do think it's going to be a defensive game, but I think Maryland can get over 90. I think Georgetown will stay right in the mid 80s. And I think Maryland gets the win here. And I think it's going to be very, very imperative for them to get off to that 2-0 start. And I'm really looking forward to it. We'll see, because after this, Maryland has some more winnable games. Like I said, looking at the schedule here, I do want them to have a good start. They have Marquette coming up, but Alcorn State coming up on the 11th. So that's going to be on Tuesday. So they got Alcorn State on Tuesday, and then they got Marquette on Saturday at 2 p.m. on Peacock. That's going to be interesting. They won 3-1 for Marquette, 3-0 before Marquette, and then if you lose, you won. You got Mount St. Mary's and UNLV. So could you be going up against Gonzaga on 25th? That's what I want to see. 5-1 going into Gonzaga on the 25th. I think would be a great start. So Maryland, Georgetown, rivalry renewed. DC, D&D, Maryland, College Park. A lot of great history, a lot of great rivalry. Glad Georgetown is back with Ed Cooley, old school, grinded out style. Buzz Williams, supposed to be a nice old school matchup between the coaches. I think Maryland wins. We're here to talk about it. We got a Maryland football preview coming to you tomorrow as well. They look big on Rutgers. I think they're underdogs. They need to get 2 wins to get to a bowl game. They don't have much time left. We'll see what happens there. Stay tuned for that. Maryland basketball against Georgetown. I think they get the win. Should be fun. Go to the game. Enjoy the gold rush. God's favorite host. I'll see Maryland video right here on the Flex One podcast. Home for the Maryland Terps. Only place giving you sports how you want it, when you need it. Go Terps. I'll see you this weekend with more Terps content. Of course, look out for that preview for Maryland football as well. Thank you for watching. I'll see you when I see you. Go Terps.